Hello, dear friends. This is a summary of a much longer biography. Opinion piece. Galactic Punk Journal. 65% of idiots are human. Generation Zero is galactic. Censorship wave against free speech. Let's start. The first time I met my extraterrestrial friend, I was playing in a punk band, and it was an event that changed my life, a turning point. According to Diary of an Alien Punk by Michael Dargaville, she was a high-level being in a human body with superpowers. Punkies are followers of the punk movement, a counterculture that emerged in the mid-70s in the US and the UK. It is characterized by its energetic music, simple melodies, and protest lyrics that address social and political issues. Punks challenge established norms through their music, aesthetics, and philosophy as a symbol of cultural protest. Michael Dargaville is a writer, poet, scientist, philosopher, teacher, singer, and musician, skateboarder, and avant-garde novelist who has lived in Asia and China for the past 25 years. He has taught at more than 20 universities around the world. More than 200 million people have read his literature on the internet, and it has been translated into 15 languages. Biography. I became a punk, he explains, at the end of 1976 at a party in Sydney where I saw everyone pogo dancing. I had been a hippie in my early teens, but quickly joined the punk revolution. However, the secret character that hippism gave me as a teenage punk always remained in me. Punks are critical of power structures, hate endless wars, and are open to radical fashion. During my teens and 20s, I was spiritual in a new age style. When I was 30, I was interested in the ET agenda, and then I met a superpowered visitor who became my best friend. She met me to Asia and China to educate people about the new spirituality. She sent me to Asia and China. Being a punk gave me the ability to promote the galactic agenda around the world, which is what I have done for over 25 years. When I arrived in China and Asia in the late 90s, where I lived for more than 20 years, I had already been given my instructions and trained in the new spirituality. Finally, I was told that I too was a starseed that came from an advanced human planet on the other side of the galaxy with a lifespan of 10,000 years. Revelation. In their view, Federation ships circle our planet demanding official ET truth and a world government based on sacrosanct national sovereignty, with a world capital on the border of India and China, with the China's province of Sichuan being a perfect location. All of Generation Zero, born in 2002 and later, are starseeds. A starseed is someone who dies on their advanced home planet and is reborn here on Earth. When we die on our planet, we generally reincarnate back to our home planet, unless we are sent here as starseeds. Emphasize that in the end, the Earth would be destroyed by the reptiloids if we do not join to the Galactic Federation, and time is running out. 65% of the Federation are humans, and the other 40% are made up of reptiles, dragons, insectoids, and many other benevolent non-human species. Galactic humans are our ancestors. Hydrants look like black Africans and have a life expectancy of 500 years. Pleiadians have a life expectancy of 700 years. Syrians have a life expectancy of 5,000 years and look European. Arcturians have an oriental appearance and have a life expectancy of 30,000 years. The Federation can and will stop all nuclear weapons on this planet and offer protection to countries that seek it. Origin: Human first formed in the Vega star system and developed from a primate level to a high level of consciousness 7 million years ago. About 6 million years ago, they developed space-based technologies and established human colonies throughout the galaxy. About 4 million years ago, a galactic federation of human planets was formed to fight these negative reptiloids. The good dragon reptiloids and insectoids work for the Archangel Michael, who is their boss. The Earth was colonized 2 million years ago BC by a civilization called Hibernia. During this civilization, human beings could live up to 5,000 years. This civilization was destroyed by the reptiloids more than a million years ago. The Federation returned in 900,000 BC and established Lemuria and Atlantis until they were destroyed by the reptiloids around 10,000 to 15,000 BC. USA. Biden's goodbye opens another wave of uncertainty on Wall Street. Kamala Harris gains the support of more than half a thousand delegates in less than 24 hours. X22 report: the IMF sends a warning to the Fed about the rate cut and the Manchurian candidate. The Secret Service recognizes that protecting Trump failed. The attack is the biggest operation failure in decades, according to the Secret Service. US debt is about to reach $35 trillion and has increased more than 70% in the last 7.5 years. Debt will represent 166% of GDP in 2054. Firefighters are fighting a wildfire that devastated 400 hectares in California. Generation Zeta abandons the American dream to live somewhere else. Tests of the baby boom XB-1 hypersonic experimental aircraft begin. The Arctic becomes a region of strategic confrontation, says the Pentagon. Other countries. Zelensky believes that negotiations are better than war. They tried to replace Zelensky with former President Viktor Yushchenko. Central banks buy gold to offset their own destruction of money. China cuts its interest rates by 10 points in plural to boost its economy. China was not affected by Friday's computer blackout. Nigeria adopts national blockchain infrastructure initiative and gains momentum. Borrell takes the foreign and defense meeting from Budapest to Brussels in August as punishment for Orbán. The UK will spend £10,000 billion on an asylum program for Rwanda. Russia has become the main supply of steel and iron to EU countries. Laws against freedom of expression reach new levels in Italy. A journalist is fined for humiliating Giorgia Meloni. Ursula von der Leyen announces a shield against freedom of expression through a network of news censorship agencies. And Pedro Sánchez presents a plan to ban dissident voices from NATO. A report from Spanish military intelligence indicates 279 pro-Russian voices. Spain. Renting an apartment already costs more than €1,000 per month on average. The IBEX recovers 11,100 points, encouraged by the banks. The judge investigating Begoña Gómez summons Pedro Sánchez as a witness on July 30th. Europe will force Spain to change compensation for unfair dismissal. The default rate of Spanish banks rose to 3.6% in May due to the increase in unpaid loans. The large Spanish banks earn around 14,000 million in 6 months, 30% more. Spain will host the 30th Ibero-American Summit in 2026. Americas. AMLO calls Donald Trump a friend and asks him not to blame immigrants. The government of Argentina regulates income tax on the highest incomes. Embraer of Brazil shows its electric flying car with vertical takeoff and landing and a range of 300 kilometers. Petro apologizes to the Colombian Congress for cases of corruption. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.